Guys, I would never, ever make fun of someone's appearance. But I'm hearing from a lot of people that I didn't make up, okay? That Steven Crowder's receding hairline is looking really, really rough. It's looking real bad. Like, what is this shape? Dude, you just need to shave it off. You are clearly going bald, according to other people, not me. I wouldn't say that.
Say a couple of things. Last week, some words I think could be taken out of context, and I want to be really, really clear, especially while we're at this boiling point in our country, where people may take some clips and tell you that Steven Crowder is irresponsible. He advocated violence. That's right. I am. I want to be crystal clear about that. I am advocating for lawful violence defensively that has been abandoned for years, and I want it to replace where grace was afforded before. So I want to be clear. I'm not calling for anyone to go out in the street and commit random acts of violence or even targeted acts of violence. That is not what I am calling for. But I am calling for lawful violence to protect you and your own where you afforded grace to the left before. Now, what do I mean by that? Kyle Rittenhouse wouldn't have gotten anything other than a pat in the back and good shooting as a comment for what he did if all of us had been acting in self-preservation the right way. The McCloskeys, I believe was their name. Remember them in Missouri, protecting their own property with their own guns on their own porch? And they had to go through years of legal battles. That shouldn't be an outlier. It shouldn't be an outlier. It should be the norm. And you're going to see a highlight reel here that's going to make you...
Dude, those were just high-profile cases. It's not as though, like, are you saying conservatives are not up to the task of self-defense? Like, right-wingers who own guns are not defending their families and their own person? What? Who is he talking about? Good job for pointing out high-profile cases.
Really angry at people celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk because I think it's important to know who your enemy is. There is no reasoning with these people. What I mean is every single time someone threw a would-be, or sometimes was, concrete milkshake at a Change My Mind table, every time someone picked up a rock and
Concrete milkshake? Oh, he's doing the Andy No thing.
Launched it at one of our heads, every time we got sucker punched, every time we got collar dragged,
Wait, when did you get sucker punched? Is he talking about the union guy who punched him after Steven Crowder attacked him? He got punched by a union worker because Steven attacked him. What is he talking about? What?
Time we got somebody coming up, throwing over the table or trying to tackle someone. It used to be, hey, calm down, because a standard for those on the right.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe someone did. Maybe someone did turn over his Change My Mind table, but I never seen a video of that. Is he just making that up, guys?
Is perfection as far as nonviolence. Now, the second someone raises their voice or comes in hot and they are told to knock it off because they're presenting a threat, I want righteous, lawful violence to replace mercy and grace.
Wow. So he's saying if you raise your voice, what does that even mean? Like what at what decibel volume are you allowed to speak before Steven Crowder just pulls a gun on you? He's straight up saying, I'm going to shoot you because you're presenting a threat to me by raising your voice. Like, has he never heard of like people debating and getting passionate and raising their voice? Like, what the fuck? This is psychotic, dude. I mean, obviously he's dog whistling to his base, you know, talking about, oh, only use violence in defense. Like, people weren't going to defend themselves before in a serious threat. Now, if you raise your voice, you're considered a threat to him and to his followers. And he's saying you can use lawful violence.
Where that is what existed before. I want righteous, lawful violence to replace mercy and grace, where that is what existed before.
Mercy and grace.
These people are not afraid of you. They believe that they can act with complete impunity, and it doesn't need to get to the point.
Complete impunity meaning talking loud. That was his example. I'm going to keep harping on it because he says if you talk loud at him, you're a threat. And he can neutralize that threat. And he's advocating for you to do the same.
Point of Charlie Kirk for another person or another person down the line. It doesn't end until they're afraid enough to keep their head down. It would be like you in your cargo shorts.
Wait.
Down the line. It doesn't end until they're afraid enough to keep their head down. It would be like you in your cargo shorts, I don't know, Tommy Bahama shirt, taking on somebody in a flak jacket, a riot helmet, in a Panzer, in a tank. They are completely bulletproof, and you are exposed when you decide that, hey, we're going to just calm things down. We're going to cool temperatures, and they are there to commit an act of violence. It is legal. You do not have to retreat. You have the right to protect you, your home, your vehicle, your person, your family. And I was thinking about this. There have been quite a few instances over the years.
Dude, what is the point of this? If defending yourself requires physical force, physical violence, even, using a gun because your life is in danger or your family's life is in danger, that's already a thing. You already had the right to defend yourself. The only reason he's posting this video and he's trying to be mealy mouth about it and say, oh, only in defense, only in defense, only in defense. Defense from loud noises that hurt your ears. I mean, he's straight up calling for violence. It's not, only when someone poses a legitimate threat, which you already have the right to defend yourself in that situation. It's when people raise their voice and get angry at you in a debate, right? And this is so fucking funny because, everyone is, debating people on the other side of the political aisle, on college campuses with a fucking change my mind table type format. Good Lord, dude.
Here's where many people here have been the targets of violence and we didn't react. I don't think you would blame anyone now, just like I wouldn't blame you. What I mean is treating these people.
Look, I don't think anybody should violently attack Steven Crowder or any other right-wing has-been who couldn't make it in show business, whatever. But again, because he used this as an example, if you raise your voice, you have to talk to Steven very gently and very gingerly, because otherwise he'll get upset and pull his gun on you. If you raise your voice, you're a threat. You're a threat.
Whether it's a Charlie Kirk type situation where you're out and you're expressing an opinion and it's a video, or you're at a rally, or you're at a conference, or you're in your whatever it could be. You could be in a general social setting.
Yeah.
Where because it's politically charged, you've applied a different standard. Meaning if someone came up to me or to you and your family at a dinner table and started screaming that you were a Nazi and a fascist and threw the glass at you, is there any world?
Yeah, dude, if someone throws something at you, like a glass, which can cause bodily injury, that's not legal. That's assault or battery, whichever, right? You have the right to react to that. But if you call someone a Nazi a random person at a restaurant, that you don't even know, I guess. I mean, what scenario is he imagining here? I mean, if someone recognizes Steven Crowder at a restaurant, that's, a high likelihood. If you're a random person, how the fuck do they know you're a Nazi? Like, what? But yes, if they throw a glass at you, that's illegal. That's illegal. It's not illegal to call someone a Nazi in a restaurant. At least not that I know of. And I don't believe you're allowed to assault someone for calling you a mean name.
In which you would do anything other than beat them until the threat was eliminated? Tackle them? Get the authorities? That's what
Get the authorities.
I'm advocating for. Lawful protection of you and your own. Because I have sat across from, at this point, hundreds of people. And I've always said this, to change my mind, the idea behind it. It's the most important skill set is being able to find out whose minds you can change and who has bought into the lie, or who has bought in so much to the narrative that they are willing to perpetuate the lie versus those whose minds can be changed. And you need to treat them you can change, and who has bought into the lie, or who has bought in so much to the narrative that they are willing to perpetuate the lie versus those whose minds can be changed. And you need to treat them differently. And now you need to treat those who are perpetuating the lie as the threat that they are.
Okay. So he went from, if someone raises your voice or throws a glass at you in a restaurant, I guess, and those being, violent, immediate threats to your life, to if someone perpetuates the lie. So basically, if someone disagrees with you, maybe strongly disagrees with you, vehemently disagrees with you, they are a threat. So it went from people who are actually, could be perceived as threats in a immediate situation, to someone who disagrees with you is a threat. That's insane. That is fucking insane. So there you have it, guys. Steven Crowder is calling for violence and is claiming that if someone perpetuates the lie, what is the lie? I don't know, being a leftist and, wanting Medicare for all and, affordable housing and tuition-free college, you're a threat. You're a threat. Cool. That's where we're at, man. Now, look, I'm not calling for violence towards anyone. I hate violence. I know it's brave of me to say that, guys. Don't send me, gifts for saying that. I'm a non-violent person, okay? But that's not what Steven wants. He wants to perceive anyone he doesn't like from raising their voice to disagreeing with him as a threat. But he's going to couch it in terms of lawful defense and righteous defense, as if people didn't have a right to defend themselves before and weren't doing that. Like Steven Crowder didn't have a security team on location. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. But anyway, guys, we're turning down the temperature here. I don't want violence towards Steven, towards Ben Shapiro, towards, anyone. I don't want violence ever. And I'm not advocating for violence. I don't think it's good for our society. I would rather, make fun of people rather than violence be inflicted upon them. That's just me. I think that's better for our society. But clearly Steven disagrees, and it's horrifying. It's horrifying. And I think part of it is also like Steven LARPing as a fucking alpha male Giga Chad. I'm surprised he's not wearing the holsters, to be honest, or displaying. I don't see a gun on the table. Maybe Rumble made him take it down. Who knows? But anyway, guys, hopefully things don't get worse. Hopefully we don't see this, civil war that a lot of people on the online right are advocating for. But who knows, guys? Who knows? All right, guys. Talk to y'all later. Love you. Bye-bye.